Previously, on the Dark Souls Weakest Weapon one-shot series. We went through the first Dark Souls with absolute ease, starting with our weapon of choice, and easily getting strong enough to get the job done. In Dark Souls 2, however, the struggle was much more intense, and we only beat the challenge by the skin of our teeth. Now we're back for round 3, in Dark Souls 3 Weakest Weapon one-shot challenge. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and comment down below what surprised you the most this run. Without further ado, let's get into it. Our run begins with this beautiful man, a mercenary with any starting gift. Most of our run here will be oddly normal, as we've got a bit of work ahead of us to get set up. Unlike Dark Souls 1, we are required to defeat the first boss, with unfortunately no good glitches to get around him. It really sucks too, as Gundyr has the lowest HP of all bosses, at pretty much 1,000 even. No way around. We'll find someone else though, so no sweat. Take down our first boss with no real issues at all, and we can move on. I'll be honest here, I cut out a lot of the fights I have to get through in order to get the job done, so keeping it nice and short. Just normal playthrough stuff. We make it to the lovely Firelink Shrine, where we obviously level up Dex, the best stat, and the most vital for this run. Before we head out though, we first try the tree skip, get good loot, and head into the world of Dark Souls 3. We speedrun getting the banner from Grandma. Getting a very important bow along the way, as well as all the heavy shit laying around. If we can't take down Gundyr, the next lowest HP boss is Vort, with about 300 more health points. We can't face him now, as we don't have our weakest weapon yet, so we'll have to find a workaround. In this corner, aim your bow here, and be sure you're at max equip load, hence all the heavy shit we got. Spam backstep twice, then stop. 1, and stop. 1 more, and stop. Then 4, and then stop. Aim at these barrels on your left, and backstep once. Aim at this X shape here, and backstep once. This will activate the death cam, but will not kill you. From here you can get back to light equip load, and backstep again to get back on solid ground. If you fail at this part, that's because I learned there's different ways to do this glitch for different platforms. This glitch for me was done on PS5. Now you have tank controls, which is awful to deal with. So make sure the enemies here are dead before doing this, so you can get used to the controls. Eventually we figure it out, so now we can enter Vort's arena, avoiding the trigger for the boss fight, and clipping through the door behind him. Now we can raise the banner up in a very glitchy cutscene, and skip Vort completely. Run through the undead settlement, as we're gunning it to our long-awaited prize. The Crystal Sage is the last boss blocking our path to our weapon of choice this run, and this is where shit gets kinda crazy. Only once before have I done the glitch to skip this boss, and it's incredibly difficult. For some reason, I was compelled to skip this boss, and thank God I did. Run into this corner and jump onto this ledge. Then from here, you have to suffer through avoiding attacks as you try and perfectly jump onto some invisible platform. Yes, it's very tedious, and maybe it'd have been easier to beat the boss with our unupgraded gear, but I was stubborn and compelled to do this. And after not too terribly long, we finally succeed. Now we go in this direction here. Behind the tree, we've officially skipped the Crystal Sage fight. Thank God. We deal with teleporting dogs, walls of enemies, and finally, we...
Shame on you, you greedy guts.
No, it can't be. You.
Well, say hello to the nice giant. He adores visitors.
Unbearable Patches is here, and while we have a bone to pick with him, we put our grudges aside at the sight of a particular weapon he sells. The Parrying Dagger. According to my deep dive research, this is the lowest attack point weapon in the game, with the Brigand Daggers and Scholar's Candlestick as close follow-ups. The Parrying Dagger, however, isn't meant to be used as a weapon, as seems to be custom with this series. True to its name, it's meant to parry attacks with a unique weapon art. It's not really meant to do much else. Though it does have a critical stat of 110, which isn't super high, but it's better than most weapons and even other daggers. Scales with Dex, hence leveling that up. Its moveset sucks, damage sucks, and overall sucks. Lovely choice for this run. We upgrade to the Uchi Katana, since we're leveling Dex anyway, and begin the boss gauntlet to upgrade this dagger. I struggled more than I care to admit, taking down the Deacons of the Deep, but we get it done. We then descend to Farron Keep, where we blow out some candles. Get Titanite shards in the shop. And finally, try our hand at fighting Vord. Our goal is a one-shot, and unlike the previous bosses in this series, we cannot get a critical on Vord. Can't be parried or backstabbed. So we're going in here with nothing but guts. No plan, just charged R2, and yeah, I should have known better. We'll be back though. Back to the main plot, we annihilate the Abyss Watchers, using the dagger to deal the final blow in the ultimate act of disrespect. Then we descend further into hell, where we touch things we should never touch. Stop touching things. Every time we touch things in these games, it's disastrous. Stop! We defeat Wolnir with absolute ease. Because your boy's just too good at this game. Send him back down into hell. And rise to the surface to face a beautiful view. Within that beautiful view, though, is Pontiff, who I usually struggle a little with. I am honestly impressed with how great I am. Piece of cake. At this point, we go on a little side plot, as I learned a new glitch for this game. Dark Souls 3 doesn't have many glitches, so learning this one was really fun. Using any boss soul, we can use them infinitely, getting infinite money. This can be chained for as long as you don't fuck it up, and once you get it down, it'll be incredibly easy. To set up, you need a bow, like the one from earlier, a boss soul, and an empty flask. Two-hand the bow, make sure you have no arrows, and equip the empty flask in the hotbar below your inventory. You can practice with homeward bones, which for some reason are easier to do and don't require precise timing. You want to try and use the homeward bone and try and shoot your bow with no arrows. With no arrows, you'll awkwardly scratch your ass, and the bone will pull up the use prompt. Time them together so they happen at the same time. Like so. From here, you'll have some time, so pick an option, and immediately hold L2, open the menu, and try to use the empty flask while the bow animation plays. Afterward, the homeward bone will be used, but it won't take any bones away. This is the same technique with boss souls, but with tighter timing and bigger consequences. This took a lot of boss souls to succeed with, but eventually you'll get it. Use boss soul and shoot. During the awkward animation, hit yes to using soul, then L2, empty flask, then profit. I'll link a better video explaining it if you're still confused. This glitch allows us to get very high dexterity, helping our abysmal damage. Back in the Boreal Valley, we grab unlimited large Titanite shards before facing the dancer back outside Fort's Arena. Easy fight, as is staple. Again, nothing really exciting happening here. Now we can go and grab Titanite chunks aplenty. So now we're almost at max upgrade for our dagger. To finish off, we touch more things we shouldn't, getting the suck, and arriving at the painted world. As long as we can take down this one tree enemy, we can get access to a very early Titanite slot. Finishing off our dagger. It still doesn't really compare to our +6 katana, but, you know, it's better than how it was. Finally, we try Vord again, and, I mean, surely, a +10 weapon against Vord, a starter boss? We should hit like a truck, right?
Ooh, that's kind of small. Yikes.
Well, I'm starting to think Vord may be off the table. But who else is there? Crazy enough, I decided to go out on a limb and try the Crystal Sage, the next lowest HP boss, and one that can be parried, which we can conveniently parry things with our dagger. By hugging the boss, eventually they will swing their dagger, sword, staff thing, and only that can be parried. I mean, We weren't even going to do this boss. Surely our damage is not that good. Okay, never mind. Maybe it is. Wow. Our focus moves on to getting extra damage. So we grab the red Tearstone ring, 20% extra damage at low health. Take down the Dragon Slayer right next to the ring, so that we can head into the office. We grab Power Within in the archives for an extra 20% damage boost.
Pyromancies from this old man.
We speak to the Pyromancer in Undead Settlement so we can get the Pyromancy
Most
hand.
wise. A chance encounter should not be squandered. To reiterate, I am Cornix of the Great Swamp. But first, you'll need a flame of your own.
And we try Vortigate to shocking no one. No effect. Maybe in a 6-hit challenge, not a 1-hit. We try the Sage again, and we get even closer. But what else can we do? I really head down the rabbit hole now. Taking down the Consumed King. And then the much stronger Gundyr, who gets absolutely styled on by my dagger. Also, we can get the Hornet Ring, which increases critical damage by 30%. I feel this ring didn't carry as hard as it should have, but I have the ring slot, so what the hell. I descend into madness trying to line everything up right. The parry, the low health, the not dying, and it's still not. I finished the build off with Glenn's Ring, an Undead Settlement, staple of Dark Souls 2, which can get our damage up to 15% extra with lower equip load. 493 is the max damage against Fort, and now the Crystal Sage. Well, I'll just let you see for yourself. Or head to Rosaria's chamber, respec our 90 decks back down to how it was at the start, losing all that we've built so that we can get beginner level stats. Buy a second unupgraded dagger, and head to Archdragon's Peak to one-shot the Ancient Wyvern, which we could have done at almost any point in the run. Huh. Yeah, I like the first option better. Our final build, just with 90 decks instead of 16 for the main part of the run. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the long-awaited sequel, finishing off the trilogy with quite the twists I wasn't even expecting. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends, family, goldfish, everyone about the channel. It's great stuff. Watch the previous episodes of this series if you haven't already, and be sure to have a fantastic day. Thank you so much.